Republican called for him to apologize. He was like, no, I think you need to apologize. Where are you, Grant? You know, he's looking around for him. Where are you? I think you should apologize for that, you know. And so now CNN called him to speak. Larry King, you know, he was on all the shows, you know, because he was like, you know what? I'm not going to apologize. I'm going to apologize to the people who died because they couldn't afford health insurance. I'm apologize to their families because we should have been fixed this problem. Well, he is the one who has spoken up. Finally, we got somebody who cuts straight to it. No chaser, honey. Straight up. Gives it to him straight up with no chaser. That's what I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking about. And he is the kind of people we need to have on in our office, in our Senate, in our House of Representatives. These are the kind of people who are fair. Treat the people fair. Because we are the majority and we are the ones who pay these people's salaries, and these Republicans want to keep hanging on. And don't you know, I heard, like I said, back to what I saw today, one of the senators said they are calling domestic violence. It's crazy. I can't even say it. They're calling it a pre-existing condition. You know, like if you had like cancer, right, and your insurance company dropped you because, I don't know, your chemo or whatever they need to do to take care of you is getting too expensive, so they drop you. This is how the country rolls. You know what? If you get hurt or sick really bad and they was carrying you all this time, as long as you were well and you were paying, or they keep you. But you get sick and you need all these extra special surgeries and everything, or they will drop you, honey, like a hot potato. They will drop you because they're like, no, well, we don't think you need all that surgery, and they will drop you. Well, now, if you go to get new insurance because you were dropped from another one and you have cancer already, well, that's a pre-existing condition. So the new insurance company has the right to deny you now because they say you have a pre-existing condition and we don't have to pick you up for that. And this is another rule they are trying to change, okay? They need to change this rule because this is not right. You have a pre-existing condition. They're trying to change that because they are calling domestic violence a pre-existing condition and have the right not to pick you up because you were a victim of domestic violence, okay? Maybe you was with your spouse and you got into something and you went to the doctor, you know, maybe the emergency room and or the doctor, wherever you went, because you got, you know, domestic violence. You were a victim of domestic violence, and you went, and so naturally it's reported because it's domestic, and then it's public file. It's on record now because you went to the hospital or doctor, whatever. So now, when the new insurance company says, okay, they look up your history. We got you down for domestic violence. Oh, that's a pre-existing condition. We can't accept you. And that is not right because that is a crime. You are a victim of domestic violence. It's a crime. It's a crime. It's not a pre-existing condition. Okay? Are they crazy? And people are going to sit back and tell me they have intelligence? And I know I didn't finish college, but they're going to tell me that they are college educated with master's degrees and whatever have you, all kind of degrees, and they're going to say, this is right, and they are not. I'd like to get every last one of them, especially the women, the Republican women, especially those who are on the Senate or who are in the House of Representatives. I would love to get them one-on-one and talk to them. You tell me what's right and wrong, and you stop this bullshit, okay, going along with these men, these greedy men. They're just like that Madoff guy, you know. He had a whole building. 17th floor was legit. The 18th floor was illegit. He had his sons way on the higher level floors. They didn't know what was going on. His brother was in on it. Greed. Greed, greed, greed. And he has wiped out so many people, his friends. He was just taking the money. I skipped the subject, but it just takes me to the greed of this country, you know. The Madoff guy, Bernie Madoff, he was just taking their money. They call it the biggest patsy scam. He was just taking their money, telling them he's going to invest. He's invested in this, he's invested in that. He wasn't investing in nothing. He was taking their money, millions and millions and millions of money, billions of money. And he just didn't do it. He didn't do anything. It's crazy. It is just crazy. I really thought I had a lot to talk about today, but it just baffles my mind. So many things I see going on. I just need to speak about them. I've got to get on tape and put this down. This is not right. We got to change this stuff, okay? We're going to change this around. Let's turn it around. Let's start doing something for the good. America, the good, the good, good. Remember good? Let's try to live for the good. Let's try to do something that's right for everyone. Maybe it's because I have never been wealthy and rich, and I don't know what it's like to have all that money, be born into all that money, have it, keep it, live in it, twiddle my toes, and be so happy and comfortable in it. Maybe I'm trying to understand, that greed can really be addictive, and it's a monster. It could really turn into a monster, And so I'm thinking, okay, let me try to put myself in their shoes. Why won't they just try to be fair with people, But you know what it is? I think they're used to this now. I mean, they've become, this is the lifestyle which they have, they've become accustomed to. So why should they give it up? I understand that. They don't want to give that up. Life is good for them. Things are not broke for them. They can afford health insurance. They can afford that. They have lots of money. They can afford boats and houses and golf and all the luxuries of life. They don't have to worry about the rent, insurance, car insurance, groceries. All those things are given to people like that. The wealthy, they're very used to it. They're very comfortable with it, and it makes them feel above all else. Well, they are above all else, and that's probably why they feel that way. And if they were born into it, generation after generation, okay. So that's good. That's a good reason why, they don't want to let go. Things are not broke. They don't want nothing to be fixed. It's not broke for them. Okay? Not broke. And they don't know what the hell we think we're talking about when we say America's broke, but I believe that Barack Obama, because of his background, and because he watched his mother suffer, arguing on the phone, with insurance companies, arguing on her last days. He watched her fight, and because they tried to drop her, or they didn't want to continue her coverage. They probably, and another thing, well, he watched his mom go through that, so I believe that's why he's fighting so hard for this, and I believe he needs to get it. He needs to get what he wants, and don't take no shorts. Okay, President Obama, that's my advice. Okay, and that's what I hope. That's my hope. I don't have any advice for that smart man. He's fine. Let me change that. I don't have any advice for him. I just hope and I pray that he gets the best insurance for everyone, and that is government run. Let the government run it, because that's fair, and let it be. I think it should be, I would like to see it be the same kind of insurance that the House of Representatives have. How people in the Senate, the senators and the House of Representatives they have really good insurance. I like to see the government do a program like that, because everybody will be covered and not be allowed to get dropped because you lost your job, not be allowed to drop you for a pre-existing condition, not be allowed to drop your job because you need more medical tests or procedures, surgery, whatever have you. Do not drop people for that. You accept, these insurance companies accept all this money, all these years, and so many people never even use it, never even need that much. What happens to all that money? Do they give it back at the end of the year? I think they should give some of it back at the end of the year. If you didn't really need all of that money, you didn't use it for that year, and by the time it's time for you to renew, you should get a third of it back. Because they made their money. And that's how they make money off of millions. And then they got the nerve to drop people who really get sick. And the majority of people don't even get sick. That's not right. That's not right. And this got to stop this wrong. We'll never make it. And they need to realize that, because once this country goes down, and that's what's happening, they are driving this country down to the ground. And once it goes down to the ground, we're all down. It's not. It's gonna be like a tsunami. You know, one of those things that just comes over, take over the whole thing. It's just everybody's washed out.